A lot of men will pretend to be a good guy. They'll pretend that they like you. They pretend that they're interested in the same things you're interested in. And that's why dating is so hard and it's so frustrating for so many women. I was watching this video yesterday that was basically a compilation of videos of men talking about how they manipulate women, how they love bomb women. It's all the stuff that I already knew, but it's just like, I don't know why people act like this. Like some of the things people do, it's like, it's antisocial. It's honestly almost pathological. No, I understand why. It's because they know that they have to do that to be able to get the woman. They have to do that to be able to sleep with her. They have to pretend to be somebody they're not. And it's basically just them like enjoying chasing you, and they'll do that even if they don't actually like you. They do it because they know that being themselves is going to scare the woman away. So they have to pretend to be this perfect Prince Charming guy, and that gets them in her good graces, and then she'll let him have access to her body and whatever else he's trying to get from her. It just annoys me when people are constantly telling women, oh, you have to choose better, without acknowledging the fact that men are basically faking their personality, they're faking who they are, they're faking their intentions towards you. And it's hard to discern that from somebody that's being genuine and somebody that's being honest. And that's why so many women are just deciding to just not even date anymore and to just focus on themselves, to love themselves, to focus on their hobbies, to focus on their friendships and their non romantic relationships, and to do things that make them happy. Because at a certain point, you realize that a man is just not going to do that for you. I've realized that a lot of men are actually extremely insecure. And I think that's part of the reason why they don't feel comfortable being themselves. Even if they genuinely want a real connection with a woman, they don't even feel good about themselves. A lot of them honestly don't even like themselves. So why would they like you? I think the way you treat other people is a reflection of the way you treat yourself and what you think of yourself. And if you love yourself, you respect yourself, you treat other people with love and with respect.
Manipulation tactics to use on a healed individual. This is method 13, invalidating their feelings. You can use this like at any time. The major difference between me and Goody is I will never validate their feelings, okay? Because that only leads them to believe that their feelings are valid and like okay, which, let's face it, they're not, right? I'd personally say one of my most important pillars is to invalidate their feelings, okay? Like just starting with little things. Like they're like, oh my gosh, it's so cold outside. I'm like, no, it's not. Making them question themselves already. If you make them feel like they're right, even about little things, they will start approaching certain situations as if they're right and it's okay for them to feel that way. And that's not what we want. What we do want is when they have problems with us is for them to approach us like, hey, look, I don't know if I'm tripping or not, but like, I'm crying about this, when. That way we can be like, oh, you are tripping about this, XYZ. That's when the gaslighting comes in. But it won't even be gaslighting because they already don't believe in themselves. The thing about invalidating their feelings, though, is you have to use some finesse when you do it, okay? Otherwise, they're going to get suspicious and question you. So when they're telling you some nonsense you no longer want them to believe is true, you kind of got to look at them like, like you're trying to understand what they're saying, but it's just completely not making sense because they're a nonsensical human being. This is another reason you should isolate them from their friends and family, because if they talk to their friends and family about the situation, then they're going to come to the conclusion like, oh my gosh, wait, I'm not tripping. It's this person. It's their fault, okay? But if you separate them from that, they're not going to have anybody to talk to, so it's just going to ruminate between y'all two, and you're going to have control over the situation. Another thing you want to do is make sure they think that you're smarter than them. One of the ways you can do this is by actually being smarter than them, which would be ideal. But another way you can do this is by playing them in mobile chess, okay? When you play them in mobile chess, you let them go first. And when they make a move, you go into chess.com, go against the hardest bot you can, and input the same move, and then copy the move that the chess computer puts in. That way you're completely demolishing them in chess, a game of wits. Now granted, I would like to apologize to the game of chess because I know that's the most disrespectful thing you can do. But if it's what you need to do to ensnare them, it is 100% worth it. The name of the game is making them feel like they're not good enough. But you yourself, you're gonna be like, nah, you're like pretty good. You're like pretty cool. So they feel like they're gaining a bit of confidence from you, but really you're zapping all that confidence from them, okay? That's why it's important to do these things. Like just make sure.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, this is the Black Iye Podcast, and I am your host, Michelle. One of the most overused quotes, and it is definitely overused, is the Maya Angelou. If a person shows you who they are, believe them. But nobody ever really gets to the gist of it, which means that if you see a person for who they are, believe them. Many times in this world, people do not show up as who they truly are. People don't show up with their true intentions. People don't show up with their true thought patterns, what they really think of you. People don't show up as their true nature. And so it's very difficult to believe a true nature when somebody represents themselves to be something that they're not. Today, I wanted to share a video with you, and I wanted to respond to this video because I believe that women, especially Black women, get a bad rap for not having discernment, not seeing red flags, not being able to weed out a liar when you see it. Deceit works. I don't realize, I mean, if you believe in the Bible, and I know a lot of you don't, or I don't know if you do or you don't, I don't know. Why am I saying that I believe you don't? A lot of you do. If Satan, a spiritual being, can deceive 1/3 of angels, heavenly beings, then who are we as human beings? How are we able to discern a person's true intention and ill intent and what they represent themselves to be? So I wanted to show this video because I believe that this video is one of the best and underrated ways to move on from the devastation of deceit. Because the truth of the matter is, there's no immunity. There really isn't. That's the honest to God truth. Anybody can be caught. Millionaires have gotten caught. Billionaires have gotten caught. People have gotten caught in deceit all the time. Every creature on earth knows how to deceive. They know how to play dead. They know how to spread their wings so they don't look like what they are. They look like a flower. I mean, everything is deceitful, especially humans. And so I want women to come in with real, honest to God ways to recover. And I believe this video was one of the best ways to do it. It's not even about fault. We know men lie, but deceit is always backed up with a little bit of reality. And I'm not going to talk anymore. I'm just going to play the video.
A lot of men don't actually like women. They like the chase, the ego boost, and the control. They like knowing they can make you feel special just long enough to get what they want, then snatch it away just to see if you'll beg for it back. This is how the game works. He comes in strong, love bombing, good morning texts, consistency, dates, deep conversations. He makes you feel safe, seen, and different. And then the switch up. Now he's busy. Now he forgot to text you back. Now he's not as affectionate. But he's still keeping you close enough so that you don't leave. Because that's the real trick, getting you to settle for less than what he gave you in the beginning. And here's where most women fumble. You start asking, what's wrong? You start initiating. You lowered your standards, hoping he returned to the man he used to be. Stop. This is not about you. This is about control. You start overcompensating. He's watching to see if you'll accept breadcrumbs after being given the whole meal. He's watching to see if you'll fight for the version of him he never intended to be long term. And the moment you chase, complain, or try to fix things, he wins. So what's your move? You flip the entire script. You don't match his weak energy. You reject the game entirely. If he used to text you paragraphs and now it just says what you doing, mute his notifications. If he was planning dates and now he's too busy, be even busier. If he tries to circle back once he feels you pulling away, congratulate him for finally experiencing the bare minimum he was serving you. Men don't respond to words. They respond to absence. The moment his ego, he loses all power. And the best part, he will come back. They always do. Not because he loved you, but because he lost control over you. And when that moment comes, let him starve. And remember, ladies, accept nothing less than queen treatment.